Hi, guys. Today I want to talk a little bit about our lesson 4 for chapter 4. We're going to be looking at real world problems to solve as we're using our bar models. So, number 1 here says solve using the bar model to help you. So, there are 22 children and 16 adults on bus A. 22 children, 16 adults. But there are 5 more people on bus B than there is on bus A. So there's 5 more people. All right, so we've kind of got a couple of problems here. First, I want to figure out how many people are on bus A. That's the first part. So we have our children, which is 22, and we have our adults, which is 16. So we would add 22 plus 16, right? So 6 plus 2, well, that equals 8. And 1 plus 2, that equals 3. So we know in our number sentence, we can write 22 plus 16 equals 38. So we know there are 38 total people on bus A. 38 total people. So now on the bottom part, it says bus A in green and then bus B is in blue. Well, I already know there are 38 people on bus A, and there are 5 more people on bus B. So I have to add those extra 5. So 38 plus 5 will give us how many people are on bus B. When I do this problem, I have to stack it up so I can add, right? So it would be 38 plus 5. Ooh, it looks like we might have to do some regrouping. So 5 plus 8 equals 13, 3, and we carry the 1. So 1 plus 3 is going to give us 4 for a total of 43. Good job, you guys. Great work. On our next page, I love that they give us real world problems so that we can solve these two-step problems together. So number 2, it says Mr. Brook gives out 341 posters to his students. Mrs. Garcia gives out 279 more posters than Mr. Brock. So part A says how many posters does Mr. Garcia give out? And part B says how many posters do both of them give out in all? So we're going to add them together, aren't we? All right, so first we got to figure out Mr. Brock. So Mr. Brock gives out 341 posters. So he gave out his 341 posters. Now, Mrs. Garcia gave out 279 more posters than Mr. Brock. So 279 more. So more means that we're going to add that to Mrs. Garcia's to figure out our answer. So in our blanks, it would say 341 plus 279, right? To figure out how much Mrs. Garcia gave out. So I'm going to add, remember I have to stack these to add them. So 9 plus 1 equals 10. I'm going to put my 0 down and I'm going to carry my 1. 7 plus 4 equals 11 plus 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 1 would give us 12. So I put my 2 down, carry my 1. 3 plus 2 equals 5. And my carried 1 gives us 6. So Mrs. Garcia gave out 620 posters. Wow, that's a lot of posters in total. So that's how many posters that just she gave out. All right, now part B, I'm going to take my 620 that I got in my first answer, and I'm going to add that to Mr. Brock's posters, which was 341. So we're going to take our 620 and we're going to add 341. All right. I think you can do that part. Go ahead and give it a try. So you will tell me how many posters they have in all. Question number 3 says, Anna has 264 crayons and markers in all. She has 93 markers. So how many crayons does she have? And then it says, how many more crayons than markers does she have? So first, we're going to take our 264 crayons and markers in all, and we're going to have to figure out how many markers she has and how many crayons she has, right? So we take our 264 markers, or 264 combined, and we're going to subtract our 93 markers. So we can figure out how many crayons she has. So 4 minus 3, yep, that equals 1. Uh-oh, that 9 is a bigger bottom, so I have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from my next door neighbor. Yep, they can give me 1. So that 2 becomes a 1, and that 6 becomes 16. What's 16 minus 9? I bet you've got it from here, don't you? So then you would know how many crayons that she has. So part B, we're going to fill in our bar model. So I know that she has so many crayons, and I know that she has 93 markers, right? So how many more crayons does she have than markers? So I'm going to probably need to do some subtracting to figure out what's that extra left over there with that question mark. So you're going to subtract your crayons number or your markers number from your crayons number. Okay, and so that's how you would find how many markers she has, or how many more crayons than markers she has. All right, feel free to pause the video so that you can do your answer, and then we'll move on to number 4. Number 4, it says Angel has 345 counters. She gives Aiden 78 counters. Now Angel has 183 blue counters and some red counters. How many red counters does Angel have now? So first we have to find the number of counters that Angel has left. That word left, I think that means subtraction, doesn't it? So we're going to take our 345 counters that she started with, and we're going to subtract because they use that word left, right? She gave Aiden 78 counters. Okay. So how many red counters now Angel has 183 blue counters and some red counters. So I'm not going to worry about that part until later. Okay, so first, I just want to figure out how many counters she has after she gave Aiden 78. So I'm going to have to borrow because I know 78, 8 is bigger than the 5. So I'm going to go next door to that 4. That 4 is going to become a 3, and that 5 becomes 15. 15 minus 8. Remember how I did this? I started at 8 and I counted up to 15. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, 15 minus 8 must equal 7. So I put my 7 down. Now I'm going to look at this next door number here. That's 7. That 7 is bigger than that 3, so they have to go next door and borrow 2. That 3 is going to become a 2, and this 3 here now is going to become 13. So 13 minus 7, again, I can count up from 7 to get to 13. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That number is 6. 6 plus 7 equals 13, or 13 minus 7 equals 6. 2 I would bring down, right? So 2 minus 0 would equal 2. So I know that Angel has 267 counters left. So now I can do my second part. The second part says Angel has 183 blue counters and some red counters. So how many red counters does Angel have? We can take our 267 total counters and we can subtract her 183 counters to get our answer for how many red counters that she has. All right, guys, I know that you can do this, and I can't wait to see your answers. Do your best work and have a great time. Talk to you soon.